The air here doesn't breathe. It suffocates. It smells of damp cedar and long-dead ambition. You know the place I mean. The forest that shouldn't be touched. The one marked by faded illegal quarantine tape. We found it deep inside that dead zone. Not a bunker, not a heavily guarded military cache, just a steel box, rusting slowly into the moss-covered granite. This was the secret mailbox of the Oracle. He called himself the archivist. He predicted the complete societal collapse. He predicted it decades before the lights actually went out. But he was wrong about the timing, and devastatingly right about the asterisk how asterisk. He never saw a zombie, but he saw the people becoming worse than them. And now you're here, listening to his last testament. This isn't theory gleaned from internet forums. This is the blueprint for immediate, brutal survival. He wrote that the world didn't end with a single bang or a bioengineered virus. It ended slowly when the logistics simply stopped functioning, when the trucks couldn't move, when the pumps failed, when the garbage piled higher than the moral standards of the survivors. No worries about external interference now. The government is eating rat meat in some flooded subterranean vault, if they even made it that far. The archivist understood something deeply crucial to the prepper mindset. The greatest immediate threat isn't the radiation or the eventual horde. It is your own soft, complex, modern mind. He dedicated the first pages of his metal diary to the concept of psychological simplification. He called his doctrine the 7 pillars of necessary cruelty. We're going to cover the 4 pillars that must be mastered tonight. Pillar 1, trust is a currency only traded once, usually for betrayal. Pillar 2, speed is survival, and excessive weight is always death. Pillar 3, the city is not a resource, it is a cemetery built of glass and rust. Pillar 4, water is the great undeniable equalizer, and it will kill you first. Forget your complicated hydroponic systems for a moment. Forget your expensive freeze-dried gourmet meals. We start where the archivist started. We start with the liquid that carries life and delivers certain death. Water. The first rule of the New World is absolute. Never, under any circumstances, drink standing water directly, not even after a surface boil. The contaminants are often molecular. They are not just bacteria, but heavy metals and industrial runoff that boiling concentrates, not removes. He detailed the simplest, most effective low-tech solution. He called it the subterranean siphon filter. You identify the suspect source, a lake, a stream, or a flooded ditch. Then you dig a trench, perhaps 10 feet long, starting directly adjacent to that source. Dig deep enough until the water begins to seep and pool naturally into the trench itself. This soil, this natural geological structure, becomes your initial purification media. It removes the particulate matter and some basic biologicals. Then you deploy the thermal inversion trap. This is the ultimate low-signature water generator. You require 3 basic components: clear plastic sheeting, a small weighted container, and the sun. Dig a small concave pit in dry, exposed earth. Place your weighted container in the center, ensuring the lip is below ground level. Cover the pit with the plastic sheeting. Anchor the edges securely with rocks or dirt, creating an airtight seal. Place a single small stone directly over the container in the center of the sheet. This creates the critical condensation angle. The differential heating forces moisture from the damp earth below to vaporize. It condenses against the cooler plastic. It runs down the slope created by the stone. Pure condensate, slow but surgically clean. Survival is never magic. It is purely applied thermodynamics and basic physics. Moving on to fire. Most people want a roaring blaze for warmth and psychological comfort. This is suicidal visibility. A well-placed, visible blaze signals exactly 2 things to everyone watching. First, I am here. Second, I am currently defenseless. The archivist advocated the inverted combustion pit. This demands slightly more effort, but offers life-saving stealth. You dig a narrow trench, perhaps 2 feet deep and 4 feet long. Insulate the walls with wet clay or thick stone if available. The fuel must be layered meticulously. Start with highly carbonaceous material, coal fragments, hardened dung, or dense hardwood at the bottom. Layer the smaller kindling and tinder above it. The physics here are counterintuitive. The heat is forced downward, radiating primarily from the base and the sidewalls. This minimizes the stack effect that draws smoke vertically. The smoke that does escape dissipates laterally close to the ground before reaching a visible elevation. Minimal visibility, maximum directed BTU. Use this for cooking or boiling water, never for show. Now Pillar 2, speed and weight. Logistics are the new war-fighting doctrine. The greatest tactical error survivors make is the immediate desire for centralization. They hoard everything in one place. They defend it until they die defending it. The archivist used the term dispersion calculus. Your supplies must be fractured. Multiple, small, distributed caches are non-negotiable. Think of the hyper-vigilant squirrel, not the greedy dragon guarding a single trove. A minimum of a 5-day walk must separate each cache location. This forces you to move constantly. It forces you to stay lean. If one cache away is compromised by scavengers or decay, the others sustain your operational capability. This strategy demands absolute ruthlessness about weight management. Every ounce you carry must serve multiple functions. Your knife is a tool, a weapon, and sometimes a moral compass. Your single metal cup is for drinking, boiling, signaling, and digging. If an item only does one thing, it stays behind. We move to Pillar 4, psychological warfare and the nature of trust. The enemy is rarely the cartoon villain from the movies. It is usually someone you recognize from the before. The neighbor, the coworker, the retired veteran who still clings to the old social contract. They are the most dangerous because they operate under the illusion of civility. The archivist's tactical advice was terrifyingly simple. Never appear weak and never appear overly rich. Appearing rich invites immediate predation. Appearing weak invites immediate domination. You must project competence bordering on absolute unstable insanity. He called this the crazy competent factor. When challenged, you must react with overwhelming, calculated force. Avoid gratuitous violence, as that leaves a logistical trail. But make the display of your capacity for violence unforgettable. Show them you are too dangerous to bother attacking. Show them the cost of engagement far outweighs the reward. Your reputation travels faster than your legs, especially in localized conflict zones. Weaponize that fear. He wrote plainly, "If they think you are protected by the devil, they will leave you alone. If they think you are protected by God, they will murder you for your faith." Now, the long game, maintenance and the invisible killers. The city offers high caloric density, especially in abandoned grocery stores and processing centers. But it introduces astronomical risk. You must become a hyper-efficient scavenger, focused only on goods that defy the passage of time. Canned fish. Honey, which is eternal and antiseptic. Dried legumes and rice, sealed meticulously against moisture and pests. Hard alcohol, it is a disinfectant, a powerful trade item, and a terrible anesthetic. Avoid anything reliant on refrigeration. It is now toxic sludge. He warned extensively about the unseen killers that follow collapse. Carbon monoxide is the primary silent assassin of the prudent prepper. It feels like a gentle sleep if you seal yourself inside a shelter for warmth. Ventilation is not an option. It is mandatory operational procedure. The archivist mandated 3 separate and distinct air intakes for any static shelter. 1 high, 1 low, 1 flexible, and adjustable. Never trust a single system to maintain your breathing. Infection is the second invisible killer. A small cut today is guaranteed sepsis tomorrow. There are no emergency rooms, only slow, agonizing death from microbial action. Clean wounds with distilled alcohol, or if necessary, cauterize with fire. He detailed the making of willow tea, the only universal field medicine left. Boil the inner bark of a willow tree for an extended period. It contains salicylic acid, the chemical precursor to aspirin. It offers crude pain relief and mild anti-inflammatory action. It's barely enough, but it's all you have. You are your own doctor, your own pharmacist, and perhaps your own executioner. Consider the operational security of your mind. Do not look for comfort. Comfort is weakness. Embrace the necessity of cold, of hunger, of perpetual discomfort. The moment you get truly comfortable, your senses dull. And that is the moment someone or something will find you. Perpetual hyper-awareness is your only spiritual practice. We close this rusted box of warnings. Remember the critical sequence. Disperse your assets immediately. Manage your thermal signature ruthlessly, never lighting a visible fire. Master the subterranean siphon for clean water. Be crazy competent, always projecting lethal capacity. And trust no one who speaks wistfully about the good old days. They are carrying dead weight. They will anchor your future to their romanticized past. Survival is a cold empirical equation. It demands calculated betrayal and absolute unwavering self-reliance. The archivist died here years ago, waiting for the logistical collapse he knew was coming. He starved to death quietly, but his knowledge lived. You found his secrets in this forbidden place. Now you possess the operational edge over the desperate masses. Go use it immediately. Welcome to the new world. You survived the initial shock. Now comes the only thing that matters, justifying your continued existence.